Good morning. Welcome to one of the episodes that we're going to call an update episode. I'm not going to give it a number. Hopefully this will be a relatively quick video just to get you caught up on what's been going on, because we're missing every other week right now for a while. Yesterday I took a day off and went over to the Vintage Computer Festival, and I did another video on that hopefully went up a couple days ago from when you're seeing this. Great time, and it was a good break I needed from all the work I've been putting in here on ZoomTown. From the debugging and testing phase, progress has been made. It's looking much, much better. The Zoomie is being directed. I tell it which start point and end point to go to, and it's been in and out of every single driveway repeatedly. But it's not perfect, and that's telling me right now that the logic appears to be good with regard to executing the trip plan at both the Zoomie side as well as the creation side over on the scheduler. The problem seems to be more with how the positions are not being quite where I want them to be, and I have to track down if there's something wrong in the CAD drawing that I use to put the data into the scheduler software for its database and do physical measurements and all that. And that can be rather tedious because it's got to be fairly accurate. So from the perspective of that form of testing, things are looking really good and are moving forward. But there's still an incredible amount of work before I can get back into going further with the whole project. And as you can probably imagine, day after day after day of doing that sort of testing and debugging, you need to take a break, or at least I do. And I have all the other Zoomies that have to be constructed and built. So I've spent about 3 days now, maybe 4 full days going through and doing a lot of soldering and getting things put together. And I'll just show you where I'm at with that in a few photos, and I'll explain them along the way. Here's an overview of all the components that I've got available for the Zoomies. We've got the 2 test Zoomies that are already out there on the field. You see those assembled, and they've been being utilized for a while. Several bodies are out there and all the different components. This morning I finished up soldering the remaining control boards. That was a very lengthy process. Dealing with all those headers can be interesting and very frustrating, but we finally got through that this morning, and boy, that's a load off my mind there. Hasn't been tested yet, but at least they're assembled. Here is the assemblies for the battery tray and the battery terminal ends in the lower gray box there. The leads that are in the upper box on your camera view there, or on your display, those are the TCRT 5000 photoreflective sensors. There's 2 different batches of them. And the reason why there's 2 different batches for the different lead lengths. So half of them are long lead, half of them are shorter lead. In the bottom tub, those are all the A3141 Hall effect sensors. Same situation there. Half of them are a longer lead, and the other half have a shorter lead. And that's just to help with assembly and all that fun stuff. Here we've got the motor drivers with their header pins soldered in, as well as the associated power supply. Those go on the the bottom deck, the main chassis deck. So those are ready to go in. The motors, I got the flying leads all put on them with their DuPont connectors, so those are ready to go into the lower deck chassis, which is what we're seeing here. And if you remember, the red frame there is where that power supply and the motor drive goes. And here you can see the ball caster on a couple of them. Wheels have been actually done for quite a while now. These are the wheels printed in green. They're more accurate than the red ones, not because of the color, but because of the printer that I used. And the rubber O-ring tires are already on and assembled and ready to go. And here we can take a look at all the sensor brackets for all the Zoomies. And these all were reprinted with the new printer as well, so I could get a more accurate framework here, because this is a very critical component to hold all those sensors where I need them and to properly contain the motors within that bottom chassis. Here we get to look at a whole bunch of little Zoomies lined up. Those are the 6 finished bodies that I have right now. And I'm going to probably hold on this because I still am holding out. If I need to put in that QR code reader sensor, I'll have to realistically just print new bodies, and these take a while to print and can be problematic. So I'm going to hold off printing any more of those until I get a little further along in testing. Here we're looking at a whole bunch of the power supply decks. This is the 3.3 volt and 5 volt power supplies with the switch, the indicator LED, and then the momentary push button switch that I've been using mostly in testing and experimenting. I don't even know if that's got an application yet in the final product, but it's in there if we need it. And with that, that's an update of where we're at. I'm going to keep moving forward with software development to at least get everything functional with going from location to location, get a little more reliability put into that. And then we'll get back into talking about the trip plan, how the scheduler creates that, and the language, and then how we interpret that on the Zoomie side of things. Those will be 2 separate videos. Hopefully at that point, then we'll be putting the finishing touches on both the Zoomie and on the scheduler software. And then we're going to start going into more testing and more automatic operation in the ZoomTown Experiment. So that'll wrap up this quick little update. It only took about 7 minutes, so I'm real happy with that. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.